You ready to go?
I think so. Hold on one second. That's what I was waiting for.
Why do you always sneeze before we record? Hi guys, I'm Anna.
And I'm Brian.
And we are Those Annoying Vegans! Welcome back to another episode of our channel. Firstly, we want to thank all of our patrons on Patreon. Thank you so much. Remember, all your donations, as well as everything we make on Etsy, goes directly into our animal rescue fund in case there are any emergencies or we need to take an animal home from where we volunteer if they need extra TLC. So that is the fund dedicated to that. And we thank you so much for your support.
And if you guys like this video, if you like our content, if what we do gives you some sort of value, please click the like button and subscribe to the channel and click that notification bell to make sure you're notified every single time we put out a new video.
Follow us on Instagram. This is our new handle. You know that by now. And also buy some stickers. We put out stickers on our Etsy. We hope you like them. And just as a reminder, every shirt on our Etsy store right now will be discontinued when we sell out.
Yeah.
So get in there because we're gonna move forward with other designs perhaps. And I don't know, I like stickers too. Stickers are just, you can put them anywhere. Your window,
Very easy
your
form
car,
of activism.
your self. Or you can make a sticker collage like we did. Or you can go thrift store shopping and get a coffee table.
Oh yeah.
And then
do
just
a coffee table surface.
Ooh.
And then you glaze it. Or put a piece of glass over it.
With
Not shellac, by the way. Shellac is made from insects. You can get a cruelty-free clear varnish. They exist.
And this is something we haven't done in a while or ever. I don't know. We haven't thought of it. But sometimes, you know, we come across an Instagram account and we're like, why aren't more people following? Like, this is such a good account. And that's how we feel about Vegan Morgan 666. She is one of our favorite meme makers and she is a strong voice. So do not follow her if you are not ready for that.
The realness.
The realness, the honesty.
The 100
the
emoji.
Sarcasm, like all of that. But she speaks truthfully and with conviction. And I think it's just one of those accounts that not a lot of people have discovered yet. But she makes memes like every day, multiple times a day sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
So she's very consistent. And we appreciate her and her activism. So give her a follow.
And her movie knowledge is...
Yeah.
It rivals my own.
That's kind of her theme. Her niche is she takes movie clips or animated clips and
puts a vegan message or frames it in a vegan way.
Yeah.
And it's very clever. Also, guys, before we get started on the video, just wanted to let you know that this Wednesday, March 24th at 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern, we will be having a debate at Modern Day Debate. So if you want to join in live, that's the day and time.
So let's get started. This week, several of you asked us questions about the use of secondhand leather or fur, faux fur, wool, and we thought we'd dive in and let you know what we think. I don't think this is a topic we've covered before.
I don't think so.
And it just sort of all happened this week, so we're like, oh, maybe we should talk about this. It's kind of converging and it's calling to us.
The first question we were presented with was, is it okay to buy secondhand leather, like if you're at a thrift store or even an online secondhand shopping, like if you shop on eBay or use the Mercari app or what have you? Is it okay to buy cow skin as long as it's not directly from the manufacturer? And here are our thoughts on that. If you are vegan and you are unsure about whether or not you should buy secondhand leather, simply replace the victim, like we do in every other circumstance. So just imagine that instead of a secondhand cow skin purse, you're buying a secondhand child skin purse. That's pretty horrific. We think people have disconnected themselves completely from what the leather industry actually is. The leather industry is a dead animal skin industry. If you were to buy this child skin purse secondhand, would that make a difference? Sure, you wouldn't directly be supporting the child skin industry, but you are still wearing a product that is made of child skin. So what does that actually say about your values?
Yeah, the product still carries a strong energy about it. You know, when you look at it, you should think about what went into making it.
Imagine being a child's rights activist and then you head into a thrift shop or go online to buy a secondhand child skin purse, and then someone sees you with it. You know, what kind of explanation would you give? You would have some serious explaining to do.
Yeah, that's another thing too, is when you wear secondhand leather, you wear it out, multiple people will see it and they will have a thought about it. What is that thought? Oh, that's a nice leather purse. That's a nice leather jacket. I want one like that. Where can I get it? Maybe they stop you on the street and ask you, oh, where'd you buy that leather jacket? And then you might say, oh, actually, I bought it at Goodwill. But should you stop there? So you want to think about, okay, what happens if I am presented with this question? How do I explain myself? Because you want to throw in a little piece of activism in there. You know, it's not just going to be, oh, I bought it at Goodwill. It should probably sound more like, oh, I bought it at Goodwill because I don't support the leather industry. It is cruel, it is horrific, so I don't want to financially. And then you get in, you know, got to get into it. I don't know if people have that kind of time, if they're just asking for your, like, oh, I guess I was just asking where you got it kind of thing.
And they could also then wonder, like, wait a minute, you don't like leather, you don't support the leather industry, but you're still wearing a leather jacket.
Exactly. That could be confusing. So those are things to think about. You don't support it. Why are you wearing a product of cruelty? Oh, would they admit that though? I don't know. But remember, we are walking advertisements. The things we wear, the way we present ourselves, the way we lead by example has an effect on the animals.
So naturally you might then ask, well, what about faux leather? And I don't know, we don't know about you guys, but in general, faux leather seems to be pretty distinguishable from real leather. Like when someone's wearing a faux leather jacket, a faux leather purse. I actually have a wallet that's marketed as faux leather, but it doesn't look like leather. Like, I don't know if you can see there, it has quite a sheen. It looks more like vinyl. It has this like wood grain pattern. It's blue. I like that it doesn't look like animal leather. It's a wallet, but it's clearly not a leather wallet. And I've seen some faux leather jackets that clearly do not look like leather. And, you know, a lot of companies are using plant-based materials to make faux leather, a lot of synthetic leather. Even shoes now are made with synthetic leather. They don't look like real leather. We think there's a little more leeway with faux leather. Faux leather is obviously great because you're not supporting the actual animal skin industry. And we think it's sort of in the cultural zeitgeist, at least nowadays, where if a product sort of looks like leather, it may not necessarily be leather. Synthetic leather is pretty common now. However, there are some faux leather products that are getting closer and closer to looking like the real thing. And there's also synthetic snake skin, synthetic crocodile skin, clearly made from products like cork, that are meant to look like a fake version of what they're imitating.
They get pretty close.
They get pretty close. It's kind of weird because we're trying to simulate the skin of an animal. Effectively what we're doing is we're saying that this animal product is fashionable, but I clearly don't want to wear this animal product, which is a good thing. Faux fur is actually very, very close to real fur.
Some are not, you know, you can tell, like, it's like sparkly, it's got tinsel in it and stuff.
Yeah.
But that brings us to our second question. Well, it's not a question, it's more of a situation we encountered. I was watching a YouTube video this past week of an influencer I follow who's not vegan. She's just really into plants. I'm really into plants. I've been learning a lot about plants through her channel, and I was just watching one of her like repot and chat with me videos, and just kind of like, you know, working, listening while I worked kind of thing, and then my ears perked up at something she said. She was extremely upset by the barrage of hate she got after she uploaded a photo on her Instagram of, I believe it was her wearing a coat with what appeared to look like a fur lining. Apparently a bunch of people just went at her without even asking, you know. On one hand, I was like, ooh, yay, people are being vocal about this. But on the other hand, it was faux fur. And she was really taken aback by people's reaction, and she's usually not easily triggered by stuff, but this really, really got her. Like, you know, please stop. She was like, please stop. I think the video is even titled, Dear Instagram, please stop, or something like that. Now, I looked through her Instagram feed. It doesn't go very far back. I think she only started it a few months ago when she opened her plant shop. And I think I found what she was talking about. I think it's the only picture I saw with her faux fur coat. And I looked through the comments and I didn't see anything negative. So maybe she deleted them, or deleted the post that it was, if it was a different post, or maybe it was an Insta story and I misunderstood. The point is, this is what can happen. It's what we just talked about. Faux fur can be very indistinguishable from real animal fur, which means if you wear it out, you risk either evoking a heavy reaction from animal rights activists, and rightfully so, because I think we all know what the fur industry looks like, and it's really horrific, and it's traumatizing. It's so traumatizing. And so we see something that looks like it, it just brings back those images. The other thing that might happen is you might be marketing what people might potentially think is real animal fur. Kind of like what we just talked about with leather, secondhand leather. We don't like the idea of wearing faux fur or having anything that resembles it, whether it's carpeting or blankets. It is ethical in practice, as in when you purchase it, you're not directly contributing to the industry, but you may be indirectly normalizing harming animals. People see someone wearing a faux fur coat down the street from afar. What are they going to think? Oh, what a nice faux fur coat.
Again, you can always replace the victim. You know, in some parts of the world, people eat cats and dogs, and in those parts of the world, they also wear cats and dogs. If you're super into this fox fur lined, you know, coat or whatever, just imagine it was cat fur or dog fur. Would you be okay with it? In some parts of the world, they eat cats and dogs, and the way that they treat those cats and dogs is something that we wish that we had never borne witness to, but we did see it. And often cats and dogs are skinned. Not only skinned, they're skinned alive, and then they use those skins to make products. Dog skin, dog fur, cat fur.
And these things, fake dogs and fake cats. How absurd.
Doll cats and dogs made from real cats and dogs' skin and fur.
So that brings us to our third question. A friend reached out to us on Instagram via our DMs. She told us that she was drawn to an organization that rescues baby joeys who are orphaned, and they are in need of pouches. Joeys are baby kangaroos, in case you didn't know. So she went on the website to look at what pattern they needed, because she wanted to knit them some pouches. And it said that the pouches needed to be made from wool. Apparently, joeys can suffocate in synthetic material because joeys like to nuzzle in the corner areas of the pouches. So she really wants to help the joeys, but she doesn't want to use wool. So she went and looked around to see if there were any other organizations who also needed pouches, but who were maybe okay with other materials that she might not have heard of or known of, but unfortunately found that it was the same protocol. So, as of right now, she hasn't knitted anything. She's at a standstill. So what do? In this situation, we think that using secondhand wool would be okay.
When buying secondhand wool in this instance, you are not supporting the wool industry. The pouches that she's making for the joeys are not for show, they are for the survival and the well-being of an animal. You're not advertising the wool, you're not wearing the wool yourself, you're not promoting it as a cool, fashionable thing that you're wearing, like a wool cardigan, a wool sweater. This is a product that is being made for a baby animal to help that baby animal survive. Some animal rescue organizations, like these ones here, they will collect secondhand fur. They'll have like fur drives, collect people's fur and wool that they don't use anymore to make bedding for the animals at the sanctuary. These secondhand furs and wool will provide comfort and warmth and enrichment for the animals at these animal sanctuaries and wildlife rescues. And these items are not going to dress you or any other human being.
There might also be the possibility that you could help connect a sanctuary with one of these organizations, and so when that sanctuary gently shear their animals, whether it's sheep, alpaca, llamas, especially here in the warmer climates where that actually needs to happen, those clippings can go to these organizations. I don't know the specific details of how that could work, but it's kind of an idea that could be brewing. As you know, the wool industry, as well as alpaca wool, llama wool, I don't know if it's called wool, but those are very, very horrific, extremely cruel industries. We do not need to wear the skin or fur of an animal. And while we're at it, why do we need to wear anything that looks like the thing that reminds everyone of animal fur or animal skin? On that note, in case you didn't know, the manufacture and sale of new fur in California is now illegal. We got that law passed. So for anyone out there who says that animal rights activists don't make a difference, that is huge. This is Hollywood. It is one of the biggest markets, Beverly Hills. No more fur. No more new fur. That's it. Secondhand, unfortunately. Gotta take those steps sometimes, That's it. Those are our thoughts.
Yeah, so at the end of the day, guys, you wanted to know, do we think it's okay to use secondhand leather, secondhand fur, secondhand wool? Ultimately, when you buy secondhand, you're not directly contributing to the industry, so that's good. If you are still marketing these products as products to be desired, not so good. It's definitely better than like going to McDonald's and buying a cheeseburger. That is a directly supporting animal cruelty, full stop. This is sort of a weird area for some vegan activists, but if there's any doubt in your mind, just don't buy it.
Yeah.
There's no need to buy leather shoes. There's so many other types of shoes. No need to buy leather jackets.
There are some great plant-based shoe companies now.
So that's it for this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Again, a big thanks to our patrons on Patreon. If you like what we do and you'd like to become a patron on Patreon, we would greatly appreciate that. And until next time, bye.
Bye.